So this is an uncut gem right here. Can you guess the value of this gem and what gem it is? This is, to hear Saul say it, about $250,000.
Of Colombian emerald.
All right, so this is a Colombian emerald, as it's found naturally, right? And once it's extracted or what have you, you might want to do a Colombian emerald like this. How much are these two gems right here?
Well, those are actually not Colombian, but they go for about, let's say, 3,000 a carat, give or take.
Okay, so how many carats in this guy?
That one.
It's around 7 carats in here. Okay, as you can see on the back. All right, 7 times 3,000 is
21,000.
21,000. So 21,000 is the wholesale or retail? It's the wholesale.
Yeah, it's about wholesale.
All right, we'll give
for
them-
Max, we do it for less.
Okay, thank you. All right, so if anybody wants a ridiculous emerald, but they're right here, uncut, this is how they're found. $250,000 right here.
13.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai, Bahashim Rakaha Kudash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai, Bahashim Rakaha Kudash, Barakatham. It's the brother Kazar Ariyah coming back at it again with another lesson. All right, and the title of this lesson is going to be My People Robbed and Spoiled. All right, and as you saw, you know what I'm saying, from the short clip, you know, Trax NYC, which, you know, his background, if I'm not mistaken, you know, he's a small hat. You know, his spirit, though, you know, he might be a Jake, he might not be a Jake, you know, but he is a representation of these heathens, you know, profiting off the resources of our people. You know, it's just something that I always, you know, through spirit, take note of and point out, you know, time and time again, man. You know, how our people, you know, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, is, you know, in this case, you know, you so-called Latinos, all right, in Latin America, you got no control over your resources, man. You got no control over your natural resources, your precious elements. You know what I'm saying? Any type of enterprise that is down there, you got no control over it, man. All right, because it's a caste system that is at play. All right, the only thing, you know, they got for y'all is plantations, man. You know, to be the worker ants of their enterprises, man. You know, very much like now, you know, where you have the few that, you know, are allowed to become you know, famous, successful, and influential, you know, given certain positions in societies. But what do they have to do? They have to sell out, man. All right, so you saw right there, you know, the small chunk of emerald that they found in Colombia, you know, which is in the land of Asher, you know, worth a $250,000, you know. And Colombia is a land that's very, very rich, you know, not just Colombia, but South America, and I'm sure certain other parts of Latin America as well are places that is very rich in these minerals, you know, places that's very rich in these, you know, precious elements and resources and things of that nature. But do any of the tribes control any of it? No, they don't, man. All right. And the reason why is we're gonna start with the curses, man. Okay, because the tribes, man, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, they are heavily into idolatry, man. Heavily into spiritual fornication and wickedness, man. All right, and Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is not showing them any type of favor. You know, ultimately, you know, we're still in the punishment of our captivity. All right, but our punishment of our captivity is going to be done away with soon. Okay, so we're going to bring this out. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43, and it reads, "A stranger that is within thee shall get shall get up above thee very far." It's like a very high, right? Because you look at it like this, man. All right, these precious emeralds, let me just, you know, mute this. Or matter of fact, yeah, just mute it like that. All right, Salakia. All right, but these precious emeralds that this dude's showing, how do you think it was mined out of those places, man? Do you think this dude goes with a pickaxe and mines it? No, man. All right, they got the tribes, the Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom that's sprinkled amongst them as well as hirelings, man. And they're the main ones that's mining out these emeralds, man. You know, man, not just emeralds, but different, you know, materials too. You know, they're the main ones that's doing that, man. All right, with little to no play, literally slave labor, man. All right. Meanwhile, this guy over here, you know, he got the nerve to talk about, you know, certain prices of up there in the Diamond District, and he wants to show forth how, you know, how much integrity he has for his business, man. You know, but he doesn't point this part out, man. You know. So anyways, continuing on. And it reads, I'm going to read this verse again. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. Right. You know, and that goes to show, you know, you tribes, man. Y'all at the bottom, man. And you have nothing to be proud about, man. Especially the Northern Kingdom, man. You know, and lo and behold, you know, y'all getting your wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? Y'all starting to see that just because you're a few shades lighter than the so-called Negro, all right, that you are treated very much the same, man. You are considered very much the same. You, your women, and your children, man. All right, just future slaves and your women bedwenches, man. You know, what does it say? And thou shalt come down very low. Exactly. And that's our people, man. Marginalized, living in the favelas, you know, in Latin America. You know, with this, with the focus being on the Northern Kingdom, right? Living in the favelas, man. You know, meanwhile, these people just straight sucking out all the resources from Latin American countries and making a killing off of it, man. You know what $250,000 is in the currency of Latin America? You know, you'd basically be set for life, man. You know what I'm saying? You'd be set for life. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I saw this one video where some dude, you know, he gives a family in Mexico $1 million in Mexican currency, and that 1 million is the equivalent of $10,000 in the U.S., man. You know, so factor in the fact, basically, all right, that here it is. These people are working for very low wages in their currency to bring out these precious materials, and then these guys, all right, these heathens are making hundreds of thousands of dollars in this currency in Babylon, you know. And then you realize how very low that our people have brought down, all right. And ultimately it's Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because this is punishment, man, all right, for our iniquities, okay. Continuing on, and it reads, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Right. It's a lot of wickedness going on amongst our people, man. All the 12 tribes, man. All right. That's the reason why, you know, you see the behavior of our people. You see how they're waxing worse and worse. Okay. It's only a testament to why the Lord is jacked our people up, man, because they needed it. All right. And especially what's coming here in Babylon with Jacob's trouble. All right. Which is also going to take place all over the world as well, man, because when this place starts going down, all these other countries that depend on Babylon going to start going down with it, man. It's going to be instability all over the world, man. All right. But this place is going to be the epicenter of all the hell. This place is going to be the epicenter of all the plagues and the destruction, man. Okay. And it reads, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. See, isn't it very isn't it something to take thought of? You know, isn't it something worth thinking about? You know, how is it that so-called Latinos are indigenous in these, you know, very rich lands, you know, lands that are filled with all sorts of precious minerals and resources, you know, but they don't control anything. You know, it's these foreigners, you know, these other nations that go there, set up their enterprises and control everything. All they got is a job at the very bottom, you know, as either a warehouse person, a miner, you know, concerning the jewelry and the precious minerals, you know, construction, you know, just the very bottom, man. All right, and that's because you under the curses, man. All right, continuing on, and it reads, and then soon this stuff is not going to be, you know, this isn't going to go on for long, man. You know, this is something that I saw, through the spirit, it just hopped on me to do this lesson, because it is very vexing, man. These nations just come to the lands, and they just, even though it's not our, original land, but they come where we inhabit, and they rob, they steal, very much how, you got these other nations, they set up shop in the hoods, in the barrios. What do? They set up liquor stores, they set up meat markets, especially for the Northern Kingdom, man. See, Jake think because it's a Spanish name and they see the word bodega that the Latin tribes own it, some cases they do. All right, but when you go in there, you see a Elamite, man. You go in there, you see a Persian, man. What does that tell you? That they don't own anything, man. That the so-called Latinos don't own anything either, man. That these other nations profit off the curses, man. All right, but it's cool. We're going to read about the get back. All right, but first we're going to start with this. Isaiah chapter 42, verse 21. We're going to start with verse 21. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is well pleased for his righteousness' sake, and he will magnify the law and make it honorable, right? Hey, righteousness is going to return into the world, man. The kingdom is going to return into the world, man. And we're going to be on top, okay? And it's going to be very different than the situation we have now, as verse 22 is getting ready to expound upon. What does it say? But this is a people robbed and spoiled, right? Are we not robbed and spoiled? Is this not a testament of evidence of being robbed and spoiled? So like, let me let this play out.
So this is
but
an
is this not a
uncut gem
testament
right
of being
here.
robbed
Can
and
you guess
spoiled?
the value?
Where is a so-called Latino with these types of gems, man? You know what I'm saying? That own his own store in the fashion district. There isn't any, man.
Of this
It's just and you see the guy next to him. What does he look like? He look like an Ishmaelite, man, or another small hat. Who knows, man? He looked like he from Middle East or something, man. One of them nations over there, man. Elam, Ishmael. One of these small hats. Ashur. The Assyrians.
gem.
These are the people that are prospering over you tribes, man. Okay. And it's all the result of being robbed and spoiled, because since the beginning of 1492, if I'm not mistaken, with Christopher Cologne, which he's a small hat, came out that he is one of them too. You know what I'm saying? One of them imposters. All right, what happened, man? It's been nothing but spoil and hell that was brought upon you tribes, man. All right, it's like robbery and hell, because if I say spoil being brought upon something, that means that the tribes are being enlarged and being, rewarded. But no, there is no spoil. You tribes were the ones being spoiled, man. Waging all manner of genocide. What's it called? That motherfucker Christopher Cologne. He got on that boat. It's like, now he didn't get on the boat. So like he when he founded, when he came across the tribe of Ephraim, in them islands, Hispaniola, and which is, Ephraim, Dominican, Levi. What did he do? He made a fucking island, man. He got an island to himself, and they were trafficking children, man. Because these people were pedophiles, man. They were doing a lot of killing, a lot of slaying. Hernando Cortez, Francisco Pizarro. That's what they were doing to you, Northern Kingdom, man, to get your, to have you as slave labor, okay, and not just that, but also, take your resources and your land. They saw that the land was rich, man. They saw that the land had a lot of resources, gold, silver, And what did they do? They started, handing out them smallpox blankets, man. And the tribes fell, but that's because it was meant to be, man. All right, as punishment from on high. As we're getting ready to read that as well. All right, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. Yeah. They are all hid. So okay, they are all of them snared in holes, right? And they are hid in prison houses, right? They are all of them snared in holes, yeah. Because of what? Our low positions, man. Our low places, as we read, being the tail. Us being set very low and our enemies being set very high. Continuing on in the reason, they are hid in prison houses, right? You know what I'm saying? Because why? Who are the predominant population in the prisons, man? Our people. Okay, in the U.S. here in Babylon, blacks and Latinos, the make up the huge, the number one population of the prisons, man. All right, because this devil has a system put in place, you know, to where we're basically brought up in poverty, and then he has these celebrities telling the younger generations to go out there and become criminals, so he could go in and lock them up to profit the prison enterprise that they have, man. You know, these privately owned prison corporations that they got, man. You know, so it's all a setup, man. You know. Continuing on in the reads, they are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith to restore. Yeah, none of these nations are saying restore, man. None of these nations are coming here and telling us to get ourselves right. You know, none. Why? Because they do not have us as the best interest, man. Our well-being is not in their best interest. Their best interest is to further spoil and profit out of us, man. All right, you think this dude is giving a thought about you know, them miners in Colombia, man? After that,
So this is an uncut gem right here. Can you guess the value?
You know, I don't know why this thing froze. You know, as Satan. You know what I'm saying? You think these people are care about y'all like that? No, man. They just want your resources and to profit off it, man. You know. Continue on. Let's see what else we could bring out. All right, verse 23. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Verse 24, right? This is another key point. Okay, who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? Did not the Lord? Why? Because we transgressed against him. All right, as it's getting ready to say, he against whom we have sinned, right? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Yeah, our people are ripe with wickedness and idolatry, man. You know, all over the 12 tribes, man. You know, you got the music, you know, telling our people to be murderers, drug dealers, even in Spanish, man. Even in Spanish, murderers, drug dealers, narcotraficantes. You know, that's what we see amongst our people, man. All right, and then when you try to become spiritual, you know, in the world that is, you know, you want to go the right way as Jake, you know, perceives it. What do they give him? Nothing but idols, man. You know, Caesar Borgia, the fucking fake ass image of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which really the way he really looks. All right, the way who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ really looks is a so-called black man. You know, but they put that Caesar Borgia, man. You know, they put that Renaissance image, man, that white pale skinned idol to our people to further ingrain white supremacy into their minds. You know, where they equate, you know, being melanated as something that's evil, and the lighter complected you are, as the more pure you are, man. When really it's a curse to be looking like a so-called white man, because according to the scriptures, that is leprosy, man. You know. So continuing on in the reads, for they would not walk in his way, neither were they obedient unto his law. Yeah. You know, here it is, you know, they go to a church, you know, they pick up the book, the same book that tells them not to eat, you know, to do certain things like for example, eat pork, you know, and then in the second they get out the church, man, they're straight to eating pork, man. All the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you know, that's just a small example, you know, but it goes to show the truth does not abide in these churches either, man. You know, but that's just another form of spiritual fornication that our people commit, man, because they don't really truly uphold this word in its 100% form, man. You know, they're not really in this thing in its completion, man. You know, they just follow after the ways of this devil. You know, what this devil tells them to do in their plantation Christianity, man. You know, which also applies to the Northern Kingdom as well, man. They got their own program over there, man. You know, and that's why you see Issachar, you know, worshiping this fucking what's this idol called? or it's a locket for my French, but they got this one idol, it's basically a skeleton. You know what I'm saying? And that basically goes back to something that they worshipped when they were the Aztecs, man. When they were lost in that, before Christopher Colon and Hernando Cortez came and took them out. You know what I'm saying? Which not extincted them, but colonized them, man. So that's what they're into. All right. I'll read this again, verse 25. I'll read it again, but continuing on, verse 25. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of his of battle, and it hath set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him. Yet he laid it not to heart. Right? Because here it is. Our people are catching hell, going through all manner of things. All right, and they still with their idolatry, man. They still with whatever philosophy that they think about, man. Taking it to the grave, and that's, the broken cisterns, man. All right, that's broken cisterns. Okay, let me see if I could get that. Broken cisterns. All right, Jeremiah chapter 2 and 13. All right, and I'm going to start at verse 12. So Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 12. All right, so like I said, Jeremiah chapter 13, I meant to say verse 13. All right, the point is in verse 13, but the chapter is in chapter 2. All right, so Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 12. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Right. Be ye very desolate, said Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Yeah. What does it say? Be horribly afraid. Why? Because, hey, man, spiritually stepping out on the Lord is not something to take lightly, man. Look at all the hell that we've been going through. All the death and destruction. The curses, man. Us being in a low predicament. Our people being exploited. Our women, our children being exploited, man. The men for the free, close to nothing labor, man. When you take into account, the value of the Colombian currency compared to, how much this stone goes for in U.S. currency, man. You know what I'm saying? And then you go into their wages, they are making nothing, man. All right. But continue on, and it reads, let me see. Verse 13, for my people have committed two evils, and they have forsaken me, the fountains of living waters. Yeah. That's what these scriptures are. That's what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is, man. Because he is our source. He is our power. Everything that's our essence, all right, comes from him. Being the gods on earth, man. As it is written in Psalms chapter 82. Ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Right? So when we with our power, we're glorious. He glorifies us, man. Pursuant to the first 14 verses in Deuteronomy 28 that go into the blessings when we're actually right with our power. Right? But what happened? Our people went a whoring, man. Our people went into idolatry, went into these different philosophies, right? And they forsook Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, who's the fountains of living waters. And what did they do? They hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water, right? Because a cistern is basically a vessel, man. It's a bottle, if you will. All right, a pot, is an example of a cistern. Let me see if I can get a proper word for this. All right. Yeah, a cistern, a pit, a well, right? So that's what it is. Okay, so I see where, they get the analogy from now. It makes more sense. I remember last time I heard this, it was like a bottle or whatnot, But yeah, the fountains of living water, and hewed them out, basically dig them out, broken cisterns, man, that can hold no water. Basically, these wells, let the water, go through. No matter how much they try to fill that well up, it's gonna hold no water. It's only gonna empty out, man, because that well is broken. Because a well is supposed to be lined up with bricks and whatnot. So that's what it is, man. That's what our people, have traded in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for, pits that, different philosophies that bring forth no life, And that goes on to say, verse 14, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Right, because we went off, man. All right, what does it say? Verse 17, hast thou not procured this unto thyself, in that thou hast forsaken Yahweh Hashem Yahushai thy power when he led thee by the way? Right. So that's what it is, man. Okay. So with that, we're going to go to another scripture. All right. Because soon, Salakia, soon, okay, we're going to get everything back. All right. Let me see. So the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And it reads, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. Right, so that's, given into acknowledgement that we all come from Adam, man. All the nations in the world, they come from Adam. But the Lord is dealing with one nation that is chosen, and that is Israel. And that's the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, you got the Israelite foreigners sprinkled amongst the nations, But hey, the other nations are still gonna remain the other nations, man. It don't matter if they had a Bruce Lee and so on and so forth, man. They still the other nations, man. All right, because Bruce Lee, he gonna come back in the kingdom looking the way he should, man. If he hasn't already reincarnated, I don't know what the generation's been, with him, but hey, he probably gonna come back in the kingdom, as who he as the way he should look like, man. In the angelic bodies, man. Hey, Eminem, you know what I'm saying? One of the best rappers out ever. Him too. And these are the reasons why these other nations could, have some pride in who they are, man. You know what I'm saying? That this is the reason why. But hey, we're taking it back from them, man. And we're showing them that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai does have a special people unto himself. Okay, verse 55, all this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the word, the world for our sakes. Yeah. Thou madest the world for our sakes. Yeah. This whole world and everything in it. All the resources, all the elements, including these other nations. They belong to us, man. And soon it's going to be made manifest. Verse 56, as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. Right. See, that's the spirit, man. All right. Soon it's going to be it's going to be made manifest what it is to be Yasharallah, man. All right. When Yahweh Hashem Yahushai turns up and raises up his elect men. Okay. And it's going to be made manifested. These other nations, man, they don't got it, man. They're not chosen. All right. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, what does it say? Thou hast said that they are nothing. Right. But be like unto spittle. Right. And as like in the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Right. So all the other 17 nations. All right, that's not Israel. The other 17 nations, because there are 18 nations according to the Bible. The other 17 nations, okay, the abundance of them in their completion, all right, is unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Basically, a drop. You got a bucket and a little bit, maybe the water tips over a little bit and a little drop, comes out. You're not in, and you're going to be sitting there, well, hey, man, I got a bucket of water. You're not going to pay it no mind. You're not going to think about it, man. Right? It's worthless to you compared to the rest of the bucket that you have. Right? That's what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai thinks about these other nations, man. That's what the living power thinks about these other nations. Okay? But it's only because we went off that the Lord got these nations over us, man. All right? But soon, hey, man, we going to take everything back. All right? Verse 57, and now, O Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, behold, these heathens which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Right? Is this not an example of being devoured? Hold on, let me close this out. Is this not example of being devoured, Salakia? All right? Is that not an example of being devoured? Right? To where all our precious minerals and resources, are fully controlled by them. right? But what did they give to our people? Fucking drugs, man. To become fucking drug traffickers and shit, man. You know? Always a glass ceiling. You know, always gonna be below these heathens, man. It don't matter what you think, you know, what level you think you're in, man. You're always gonna be below these heathens, because remember, who controls the currency is these different banking families. And they're getting ready to implement their new enterprise with their new currency. That's going to be governed ultimately, it's going to be used and governed by the device, the CHIP, you know, written of in, that's, you know, prophesied about in Revelation chapter 13 and 16, right? You tribes, no matter how high level you are, you're not going to, on this side, I'm going to repeat this again, you tribes, no matter how high level you think you are on this side, as far as wealth and status goes, you are not above these other nations, man. You know, I remember also too, you know, that dude Andrew Tate, you know, he likes to talk about, well, I don't think he likes to talk about his Bugatti much, but you know, everybody knows that he has a Bugatti, you know, and then he goes to visit this Arabic sheik, you know, and he tells him, hey, I'm gonna show you my Bugatti, and he takes him to this vault, and he shows him what's it called, a Pokemon card. I don't know if it was a Pokemon card, it was some type of card. Of some type of anime, some one of those things that was worth millions, man. Millions. Just this little card. He's like, yeah, that's my Bugatti. You know, basically flexing on him, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, Andrew Tate is a Jake, man. You know, his dad was black. You know, a so-called black man. He'd be from the tribe of Judah, man. You know, the only thing is that his mother, you know, a so-called white woman. You know, so he came out, him and his brother, they came out looking the way they do. You know, but that's a good example right there, you know, of how, you know, these heathens have been above us, man. All right. And they have devoured us, man. OK, they have. All right. I think there's a alleyway in Dubai. You'll find nothing but so-called black, Latina, Native American prostitutes, man. All right. So-called black and brown prostitutes, man. You know, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom, but primarily, you know, of Latin tribe descent, man. You know, but it's cool because all that, you know, it's all for our punishment, you know, and we're acknowledging that we went off, man. Okay, and the elect is waking up. All right, Lord willing, we're off that number, man. We be the first fruits, and guess what? We're gonna be the first ones to take over these other nations, man. As we're getting ready to read, verse 58. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands, right? If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Right. And it's going to endure until the Lord sends Yahushai back, you know, to come back with the thousands of heavens. All right. To cast this devil down, these heathens down too. All right. Save the elect and usher in the true world order. Okay. Not the what these devils got, but not the true world order, New Jerusalem. All right, which is going to be the kingdom. Okay. And in our angelic bodies, we're going to take over this world, man. All right. And the scriptures talk about this. All right. Because all these things are going to be factored in. Okay. So we're going to go into the book of Zechariah, chapter 2 and 8. And it reads, for thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. Right. So these are the nations that spoiled us, man. All right. These are the nations that spoiled us, man. Gotta, you know, wait for that to kick in. Right. You see the guy on the left, you know, the top left, that's a Shur, man. That's an Assyrian, man. That's an Ishmaelite, man. You know, a Persian or a small hat, you know. And you got this guy, you know, like I said when I stated earlier in the lesson, you know, hey, it's questionable if he could be a Jake or not. You know, he's very flamboyant, you know what I'm saying? His mannerisms, his spirit, you know, very flamboyant. But I guess that's how people are in New York as well. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, it's just an example of what's going on amongst all these nations, man. This is the only dude that likes to go out there and, you know, talk about the you know, certain intricacies in his business. All right, but they got a whole district over there, man. They got a whole, you know, and not just New York, man, all over Babylon, man, and all over the world. And all these jewels, all this jewelry, all right, majority of them come from our people. Okay. Also, too, can't forget the west coast of Africa, man. Certain parts in Africa where Jake be dwelling at. But it is what it is, man. All right. That's just, going into these nations spoiling us. All right. So continue on, and it reads, for he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. Yeah. So them in coming and spoiling us, making profits out of us. All right. Considering the fact that we've been destroyed and they all got that little confederation against us. They got something coming, man. All right, as we just read, he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. Yeah, these nations touch the apple of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's eye. Because is it not written we are his chosen? Right? We are a holy nation unto himself. Okay, so this is going to be a recompense, man. And we're getting ready to read it right here. What does it say? For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai of hosts have sent me, right? I will shake mine hand upon them. Yeah, the hand represents his power, the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, extending onto these nations, man, basically to take them down. All right, and what does it say? And they shall be a spoil to their servants, right? Because right now we're the servants, man. Okay, here it is. That guy's, what's it called? It's a word for it. You know what I'm saying? But basically that dude is, glorifying himself in his wealth and his profits, his substances. All right. But who's the one who gave him the substances, man? Who's the ones that's chiseling in the minds is the tribes, man. In that particular case, the tribe of Asher. All right. So guess what? These other nations, they're going to be a spoil to their servants, man. What does it say? And ye shall know that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai of hosts hath sent me, right? And that's what it is, man, because this is coming from the Father, man. All right? It ain't going to be, us saving ourselves. No, it's Yahweh Hashem Yahushai deciding, okay, I'm gonna lift up their punishment, and I'm going to put them in these new bodies, and I'm going to set them back into their own land. And, these other nations, yeah, they gonna serve my people, man, forever, ever, and ever. Okay? That's what's going to happen. All right, going into the book of Daniel, chapter 7. All right, it's one of my new, I'm saying? It's been around, brothers been bringing it out, but what does it say? All right, Daniel 7:18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever, right? That's what's getting ready to happen, man. All right, but it starts with the elect, not no regular, Jake, man. It's the elect, man. All right, Lord willing, we're part of that number, okay? Because all we got to do is just endure, man. Just got to complete our course. So Revelations chapter 2:25, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, right? And that basically means we're going to be ruling over these other nations, man. All right, but it goes on further to say what we're going to be doing. It says, he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have, even as I received of my Father, right? So we're going to be breaking these nations down, man, for how they broke us down, how they spoiled us. We're going to spoil them, okay? And then they're going to be serving us, how we serve them, man. All right, because, hey, we're still serving them, man, okay? Them little Asherites in the mines, chipping away at them stones, for basically nothing a day. What's that called? That's called slavery. Meanwhile, this guy's gloating over, that's the word I was looking for. Meanwhile, these guys are over here gloating over the minerals that is found in the lands of Asher, man. But hey, we're taking it back, man. All right, we're gonna take it back. All right, just gotta endure. So with that, I'm going to say, call Allah, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakaha Kudash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson, or willing this lesson was edifying. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom, on to the next.